how's it going today? I don't know, it's doing pretty good. How about yourself? Hey guys, what's up? It's Heidi. So, welcome to Vita Day 4, and today I have the My Genre Project tag. I don't think it's an actual tag, but it's a project tag kind of video. This was originally created by Caleb J. Ross. He's a really awesome booktuber, and I will leave a link to his channel and the original instructions video down below. This tag is basically where you pick a genre, like your favorite genre, or just a genre you feel like people should read more, and talk about it and let people know some really great books to get into the genre and just stuff like that. And it's a pretty awesome tag, and he also has a playlist with all of the videos that people make, so you can be like, I want to learn about historical romances, and somebody is like, oh, I love historical romances, and they made a video, and you go click and then they tell you what's up in that genre. So I think it's a pretty awesome idea, collab thing. I'm going to tell you about my genre today, and let's just get straight into it. My genre that I chose to do, if you can't tell by the title, is children's fiction, which I think is an extremely underrated or mocked genre almost. Some people will refuse to read a book because it's a children's book. So I'm going to just tell you a little bit about this genre and why I love it and some great books to read in that genre. First reason I really love children's fiction is it's not only for children, it is a great genre for everybody of all ages, because it takes you back to your childhood and it'll have something in there for older readers also. It's very rarely is a children's book just straight up children's novel, no deeper meaning kind of thing, because children, while they do enjoy the children's books, there's often like deeper hidden themes and all of that that they won't pick up on but adults will, so that's really cool. Another reason I love children's fiction is it's generally where readers start off. They start off reading a really good series that they find when they're kids, and that snowballs into them becoming readers, and that's really cool. So if you can find a good children's book to give to a kid, they might be like, oh, reading is cool, and they'll find more books and they'll keep looking for books. So that's also really awesome. Another reason that children's fiction is really awesome is that it's just really, like, they're fun and fast. They are really good if you're in a reading slump and you're like, I don't know what to read. Children's books, at least for me, are always a way to get back into reading, because they're really fun, they're really fast, you don't have to think really hard about what you're reading generally, so that's always nice if you're just feeling kind of sluggish in the whole reading zone, and you can always just pick up a lighter, easier book to read and it'll help you get back into the reading mood. And on top of that, children's books are just really fun and they're adorable, and you get to like go back into your childhood and be like, oh, everything was so happy and great and I didn't have to worry about paying bills or going to work or school or anything like that. You just gotta be happy and be a kid, and I think that's really great, and I think children's books kind of get you back into that ideal mood thing. That's another great reason I love children's fiction. There's probably a lot more, but those are the ones that I could just come up with really quickly as I was organizing my thoughts for this video. Now I'm going to tell you a bunch of my favorite children's fiction novels. I am going to not talk a whole lot about the ones that everybody knows about, like Percy Jackson and Harry Potter and stuff like that, because those everybody really knows about, so I don't need to tell you that those are great children's fiction books. Like, they're there. People have told you this plenty of times before, I am sure. So those are good. But I am going to tell you some of the what I feel are lesser known or lesser talked about children's books and all of that. I am also going to make a Goodreads bookshelf titled Favorite Children's Fiction on my Goodreads. I'll leave a link to that shelf down below so you can see just all of the books that I think are good, because this is just a very small collection. First book I'm going to talk about is definitely a children's fiction novel. It's for, like, you know, third graders, generally aimed towards like very young elementary school age, and that is The Borrowers by Mary Norton. And this just kind of takes me back to like Indian in the Cupboard and The Borrowers and Mouse in the Motorcycle. That's another good one. But this particular book is about these creatures called borrowers that live inside a human's house, and they're very tiny. Whenever they need something, they go up and borrow things from the humans, and they can't be seen by the humans though, but the young child borrower knows that there's a child in the house that is a human and they're not supposed to go out into the human world, only one of them is allowed to go out and shenanigans go down, and it's just really adorable. The next book is Dragon Rider by Cornelia Funk, and she also wrote the Inkheart series, I believe, but I never actually read that, but I've heard lots of good things about it. This is a particularly good book about dragons and a little boy and I believe a four-armed cat, or at least a cat. I think it has four arms though. I don't know. This is the first book that I remember ever staying up very late past my bedtime reading all night long, and this is a very long book, so the fact that I did that and I was probably like 4th or 5th grade, so this is a really awesome book though, and let me know down in the comments if you really like the Inkheart series, because I never read them, but I've heard that they are good. The next book that I want to talk about, I don't know how common it is. It's kind of more, it's an older children's fiction book. I don't know how many people actually read this entire series or even the first one as kids, but this is one of my personal favorites. I've reread this book multiple times, the entire series a couple times, and that is A Wrinkle in Time by Madeleine L'Engle. This is actually part of her series called The Time Quintet, and there's 4 other books, and the first one is probably the most common. I know there's also a movie with Whoopi Goldberg in it, and I have not seen that, but so I have no idea if that's accurate or good at all compared to this book. But these books are adventure, children's fantasy with like a drop of sci-fi put in there, and they're really fun books. This is about a family and they go on all of these fun little adventures, and there's like space travel, but not in the way that you would think, and fantastical creatures, and it's just awesome. And also, I think in the second or the third one you learn about mitochondria, so that's why I know that. And you don't feel like it's important as a child, and then you go to science class and they're like, mitochondria, and you're like, I know what that is. It's just a cool series. I don't really know how to summarize it, but I definitely recommend reading this series. The next book that I want to talk about is actually by Rick Yancey, and I did not connect him with like the Fifth Wave and stuff like that for a very long time, because I didn't realize that he was the author of this awesome children's book. I read this I think in 8th grade, I think, but it's a really awesome book, and that is The Extraordinary Adventures of Alfred Kropp. This is a modern novel mixed with Arthurian legends, and it's probably, I think it's the first Arthurian legendy story that I got into. I tried to read Robin Hood when I was younger and I just didn't like it that much, but this is really awesome. And this is about a boy who is extremely ordinary, and then he finds out that he is related with this entire thing of Arthurian legends and people related to Arthur and everybody, and it's really, really awesome. And I know that there is a second one, but I have not read it, and I'm going to read it after I reread this, which hopefully is coming up soon. So this is a pretty awesome book, and it's totally action-packed and awesome, and swords and fighting, and it's awesome. And also this cover is legit. I just want to point that out. It's an awesome cover. So that is all I have for children's book recommendations that I'm going to talk about in this video. Like I said, I am going to make an entire shelf on my Goodreads that has tons more children's fiction. Recommend me some books in the comments if you have any children's fiction that I did not mention, and I will take a look at them, maybe read them, check them out, and so leave those suggestions all down in the comments below. I would love to see tons of people do this tag project because it's really cool, and I want to hear about your guys' favorite genres, and I can learn about other stuff that I haven't even tried reading yet. That is all I have for you today, and I will see you tomorrow for another video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe if you like me, and I will see you all tomorrow with another video. I love you all, and yes, that is it. Goodbye. Mwah.